Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I will be showing you how I use the Epis and marinade in making a seafood boil. Obviously I did not have everything that normally goes in a seafood boil. Some things I chose not to add it, and some things I did not have. But here I am showing you my octopus and shrimp. I had cleaned them before I started recording, and then I had put 3 tablespoons of the Epis, and then 5 tablespoons of the marinade in it. And then here's my crab. Oh, I bought this crab at an Asian market, and it was, let's just say, I threw away most of it because a lot of it wasn't good. But anyways, I marinate that as well, and it was 4 crabs, and they weren't that big. And I put 2 tablespoons of the Epis and 3 tablespoons of the marinade, and then I put about a 1/4 cup of lemon juice in it as well, and then a tablespoon of salt. Not a tablespoon, my bad, a teaspoon of salt. And then yeah, so like right there, I'm just showing you the Epis since I didn't record it beforehand. Just showing you what it looks like for those of you that have or that are watching this video for the first time. That's my marinade that I do, that I use on all my meats and stuff, and it's really, really good, super delicious. So yeah, that's what I marinate those in. And then I went ahead and chopped some garlic and onions and parsley that I'm going to make like a garlic butter with, for pouring over the seafood boil, and also for dipping it in. And I also have like a lemon right there that I use for it too. And then I went ahead and did my corn and chopped them, and then my potatoes, and then I was gonna boil like some onions and garlic in my water. And then I had a hot pepper that I was going to add in to make it spicy. And then these were the spices that I use. This is the Slap Your Mom Cajun seasoning that I use to flavor my seafood boil, that I'm going to flavor my water, with. So yeah, that's a tablespoon that I'm using, so you can see how much that I'm putting in of each spice that I use in this video. And then I'm also going to use the chicken bouillon powder, and then I'm going to use the Old Bay seasoning as well, and then some salt that I used in that. And then later on, I won't show this, but I ended up adding more than what I showed you here right now, because I just thought the water was a little too bland, and so I needed to add a little bit more to really get the flavor out. I think I ended up adding like a tablespoon more. If you know me, I tend to do my cooking with just kind of like toss and throw, and I'm trying to do more measurements for when I record these videos for you guys, just so if you guys want to try it at home, then you kind of have an idea what I do. So yeah, I also added Epis and more marinade to the water that I did not show you guys once I added my stuff, and I just thought it was a little bland. And if you know me, I don't like bland food, so I was like, let's just go ahead and add some more things, toss and throw. So I'm sorry about that. I did my best, but wasn't quite good enough. I also did garlic powder. I love garlic, so when I cook my food, it's going to be very garlicky and flavorful. So if you're not a big garlic person, you probably will think my food is too garlicky for you. But yeah, and then I'm going here and adding my salt to it. So I had already went ahead and I put my eggs boil separately, and I was going to do 4 eggs. I put them in a separate pot to boil. And then I was gonna, once I had everything else boiled, I was gonna add it to it, just so they didn't get too smushed and squished in between all the stuff. And then here is my pot. This is a pretty large pot that I have. It's actually very large. And I thought it worked really well for it. It was deep enough and wide enough. I did not measure the amount of water that I had in, but it's pretty full. As you can see the line of it. And then what I did is I let it boil before I added everything else to it. Okay, so at this point my water is boiled, and I am now going to add in the stuff that I had already prepared, my shrimp, my octopus bites, and the crab and potatoes, everything else. First off, I am going to go ahead and add my lemon juice. Just squeeze that in. I have a little strainer. I'm gonna squeeze that in, and I ended up doing a whole lemon to it, and then I actually ended up adding more because I was like, I think it would be good to add a little bit more acid to it later on. But yeah, so I went ahead and just squeezed those in, and then I was gonna go ahead and add on the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so I've added everything in, and I'm going to give it a good stir, just making sure everything is well mixed in there. And then I'm going to cover it and let it boil for about 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so 25 minutes later, I'm taking the lid off, and it did take it like a little bit longer to boil. So this is just kind of at its peak of boiling. So it's not like, yeah, boiling and going. I'm going to leave it probably for another 20 minutes for sure. And you can see like the foam on top. I did scrape that off. I didn't show you in the video where I scraped it off because obviously it's a very tedious thing. But I did scrape the foam out as much as I could. And then I tasted it, and I thought it maybe needed some more salt. And I think that's when I added my spices. I added extra spices to it because I was like, it's a little bland. It's colorful, but I thought it's a little bland. But yeah, so there it is. It's boiling, and I'm going to go ahead and just put the lid on it again and let it boil for some time again. So you can notice this time when I took the lid off after letting it boil for another 20 minutes, it is, yeah, much bubbly, and it is pretty much done. I wanted to let it boil. I tested everything just to make sure that they were cooked, and they were almost cooked. I wanted to let the potatoes in just a little bit longer to make sure they were really soft. But I thought it was really, I thought everything was good. Obviously, like shrimp doesn't take that long to cook, and corn definitely doesn't take that long to cook. So I just let him cook a little bit longer, and then I was going to go ahead and take out take it out of the water, and I'm gonna put it on a cookie sheet that I had already lined with foil. And then in the meantime, once I have it out, I have already had my garlic butter ready. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it on it and then put my eggs in, obviously, so it's all mixed in with everything else. And then we're going to go ahead and just eat it. Obviously, now I'm going to show you now how I make my garlic butter. It's very simple. Very, very simple. I ended up using 1.5 cups of butter. In the video, I don't think that's what I showed you. Right there, I just had about what, 3/4 cup, but I ended up using 1.5 cups of butter because I wanted it to be more. I wanted more sauce to pour over it and to have extra for us to use. Anyway, and then I'm going to add some minced garlic as well. Like I said, lots and lots of garlic. You're going to taste the garlic. And then I added a tablespoon of minced garlic with it. And then I had chopped parsley and finely chopped onions. And then I'm just going to melt that until it is nice and melt and it has like a little color to it. A little reddish color to it. I did end up adding the Cajun seasoning. I think I added about 1/4 teaspoon of the Cajun seasoning to it just to give it a little pop of flavor when I poured it over my stuff. So that part is super, super simple for making the garlic butter, and it was just a process of just letting it melt. I didn't go too fast because I didn't want to burn my butter. So yeah, just kind of a very slow process. But anyways, I will be showing you some pictures. Yeah, there it is. There is where I added. It was half a teaspoon. My bad, half a teaspoon that I added my Cajun seasoning to it, just to give it that pop of color and flavor. And I also added a chicken bouillon, and that one was 1 teaspoon of chicken bouillon as well. See, as I am recording this, I am remembering what I did. It's been a couple days since I've made this, and I'm doing a voiceover, so bear with me. But anyways, letting it melt. This is going to be the end of it, and I'm going to show you some pictures towards the end of what it looked like. It was super delicious, super simple. Yeah, we all really, really enjoyed it. I didn't have mussels or the sausage. We're not a big fan of sausages, so I didn't add any to it, and I couldn't find any mussels. That's why I didn't put any in. But yeah, do as you like, add whatever you want. But this was the way that I added my Epis and my marinade into it that I thought really, really flavored it. So if you have the Epis or marinade and you want to try it and something different that's not like Haitian, then you're welcome to use it in that as well. So I hope you guys liked this video and found it helpful. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you again in another video. Bye.